pull in the reins, let it flow, guide where to go, let it flow, guide where to go. Breathe in, breathe out, get back to self, back to peace. Breathe in, breathe out, get back to self, back to peace. Let it flow, guide where to go. Let it
Hello, Radical Homemakers. Welcome to a beautiful autumn day here at Wildernest. This is another one of those, not gonna make those videos, spur of the moment kind of things. I'm still working on the really long video explaining Wetiko culture. But I've had some thoughts in the last week or so, and I have the day off today because I had to go to the doctor because I'm sick. So I thought I would share a few of those thoughts with you. This may ramble around a little bit because this is not scripted. This is absolutely off the top of my head. But because I've been writing the last of the script for the Wetiko Culture video, and because of everything that happens to us living in Wetiko Culture, and please excuse the tractor from the farmer across the road, it's a little loud. Because I've been going through this, as I do go through this every day, as we all do, living in Wetiko Culture, I've had some thoughts about how I've come to learn to deal with this. And I am confronted on a daily basis with people who are behaving with Wetiko logic. They are acting in selfish, destructive, self-destructive, and separating ways. They will bully people. Me, I experience this, and I witness it occurring all around me. I've had some trouble at work. Those of you that are Facebook friends will know this. I've overcome it largely because a new supervisor was committed to supporting me and creating an environment where that does not occur. And I also, the crappy apartment complex that City Den, Man Cub and I's home in town, our lousy basement apartment that we live in, the complex that it's in, because it is the cheapest renting in the entire small city, it has a lot of people that have had a lot of challenges and continue to have a lot of challenges and have had few, if any, examples of how to develop emotional maturity or behave in a psychologically healthy way. So I'm confronted with that. Earlier this week, I had to call the cops because one of my neighbors tried to break down the door of another one of my neighbors with a knife in his hand to try and kill him. Right when I was trying to go to sleep to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. So that kind of drama. And I've had just this week 2 people from what I would call my family of choice. Ravens, a couple of Ravens, my eldest daughter's best friends, ganged up on me on my anonymous public Facebook profile, which I created for this work. And I've been having to think a lot about how easy it is when people lash out at you to respond in kind, which is not kind. And strangely, so often people use the word kind or the excuse of kindness to cover up what is an attack on another person. Certainly an attack on building that web of community. So, and I had a friend at work who was making some comments about somebody who had been lashing out at me at work. Because I'm well supported now, it doesn't really bother me. I'm able to respond by simply enforcing my boundaries and pointing out that this person is not my superior, and so they should not be ordering me around and demanding that I undertake certain actions. So my friend was talking about, oh, well, I saw them doing this and I was laughing at them. And I brought it all to a head, thinking about, we can't lash out. Oh God, you want to. Your first response, it's an anger response, when there is something that is perceived as a threat to you, is to lash out in anger. You may perceive it as defensively, but you are on the attack. You are offensive. You are taking offense. This is literally what it means. You are taking offense, and so you go on the offensive. And God, it's so easy when you're getting all of this constantly. I seem to have been given a gift, a blessing, and I think it's my autism. I don't have a diagnosis, but I suspect that looking back on my life, when these things have occurred, I do not have a quick wit and response. I don't. I'm not going to say I'm not smart enough, but it's just not the way my mind works. I'm just so confused. And the closer the person is to me who attacks me, and this has happened to me with my mother, my sisters, other members of my family, it just confuses the heck out of me. And I go into trying to study over my whole life to try and make sense of this, to try and figure out how to be psychologically healthy. But what I've learned is that that moment of confusion is the blessing to me. Because I'm confused, I don't automatically lash out. It's the gift of a moment of time. And now that I'm older, and now that I am supported and safe and able to defend my boundaries, and because I'm aware of my own needs and I'm able to make sure that they're being met, and because I have a web of community, which is largely online, so this is a reach out to my dear friends who support me in all of these things and have taught me so much. Because I have all of those things, I have learned how to stay in that moment of confusion. And even when I recognize, yes, this is what is happening, someone is attacking me, I can stop, I can think, and I can decide consciously how to act. In the case of the person at work demanding that I behave in a certain way or undertake certain actions, I was able to say to her, no, it's not your job to tell me what to do. Nothing more was required because I'm in a supportive environment at work. In the case of the neighbor trying to kill the other neighbor, I was able to enlist an authority, which I will not always turn to because I am very suspicious of the police. I was a street kid. I lived on the streets when I was 14, 15, that age. So I've had friends have a lot of bad things done to them by cops, but there are times when it is the right thing to do. This was one of those times. I called the police, said, one of my neighbors is trying to kill the other one. I think some other neighbors may have called, including the one who was cowering in his apartment, who himself is not really a spectacularly wonderful person. But I called the police and I said, this is over the top, this guy's bad news, and can I please have an end to this confrontation, which has been going on for hours now? I would like to go to sleep. They came, they dealt with it. And in the case of two people who I love and who I thought of as daughters, who attacked me because I spoke about an experience that I had with one of them, anonymously, with no names, talking only about my own experience and how I felt guilty because I had not spoken up to this person and told them the truth because I was afraid of hurting their feelings, and a great deal of suffering resulted. And these two, I would say young people, but one of them's in their 30s and one of them's in their late 20s. So, actually, no, they're both in their 30s now. I'm shocked to remember how old Raven is now. They're not that young anymore. They should know better. They should know not to behave in such a gleefully bullying way. And yet they did. And I was hurt. I felt betrayed. It was painful to see them having so much fun, making fun of me for feeling bad about how I failed this person by not speaking the truth. And I did not respond. I copied the posts just in case they erased when I blocked them, and I blocked them from both of my profiles, my personal one and my current public anonymous profile, which I use connected to this channel. And sometimes it's the best response is no response. Sometimes the best way to have a boundary and to keep yourself safe is to withdraw. But that's not what we're taught. It is a gift to me, largely from my goddess, who has sent me people with this wisdom, sent me books with this wisdom, that I have learned that you don't have to snap back. So I'm proud of myself. I haven't talked about it to too many people. But these 3 examples just this week of the fact that the only way to end Wetiko culture is to not be Wetiko yourself. You can't change other people. You can't do anything to other people and not have that mean that you are enacting things on other people because you have deemed them to be worthy of your abuse, which means you're Wetiko. It's so hard. It is so hard. This is the only way. Even seeing Donald Trump have another unsuccessful assassination attempt the weekend before. You guys, when you do that to him, you're as bad as he is. Don't do it. I beg of you. Take that moment. I wish for you the blessing of a moment of confusion. I wish for you the blessing of a moment to sit back, feel the pain, and say, yeah, that just happened. This person just lashed out at me. And say to yourself, who is this person? Is this someone who is not in my circle? Then let's keep them out of my circle. Enact that boundary. Is this person someone who is in my circle, in my web of care? Then don't tell other people what to do, but you decide yourself. I am not going to put any more energy into maintaining that connection. It's very sad, but it's the only way to find peace. I wish you all peace. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this little piece of wisdom given to me by others is able to help you in the journey of making yourself a home.
You sold me out, I did not notice. It's been going on for a while. Ooh. When grace is gone, I can see all things so clear. It was all pretend. I can find a higher line over the clouds above. I can find a higher ground. I just have to reach past the summit of the line to reach higher love. Years have passed and I did not notice. Still I'm thinking about our past. Ooh. Now when you are gone, I can see all things so clear. It was all pretend. You look back and I look back, we don't see the same thing. It's time that we just let it die. Oh, I can find a higher